thing started with a couple of proposals in my mind. Like any choreographic project, really, it's a creative investigation. So I had this crazy idea. It was the end of my first semester, and I just thought, I wonder if other people would enjoy being here. It's a really curious town. You know, Cholula is the oldest continuously inhabited community in the entire Western Hemisphere. It's been continuously inhabited for almost 2,000 years, and I ended up here. And so my notion of America expanded, my notion of history expanded, and my notion of culture really shifted, as does for anybody when you go somewhere else. So I just called up some friends. Basically, I wrote an email and I said, I have this idea, I'd like to do this thing, which would mean you would come here to Mexico and I would commit to sort of organizing the time. We would share performances, workshops, papers, videos, whatever you're interested in, and would you be willing to come? And I have no money and I have nothing to give you, but I will organize it all and I will make it happen.
The title of the dance we're performing in Mexico is called Farewell to the End of the World as We Know It, or Dancing Your Way to Paradise. Farewell is a project that has been developed in conjunction with several residencies, starting in the United States, moving to Africa, moving to Rio de Janeiro, now here in Mexico. And the idea was the question, what is the tipping point? Have we passed the tipping point of being able to control our impact, the human impact on the environment?
I am Maida Morales, and I still don't know exactly who I am or what am I here for, but today I'm here for PERFORMATICA. We went to get an extension cord and some cables. So I teach a contemporary technique, we call it. I have a perspective on dance education that comes out of an investigation of the mechanics of the body.
Part of why Myra and why PERFORMATICA happened at all was because we found ourselves in a very weird situation where no one was here to tell us no. And I really wanted to know Myra. I mean, here was my colleague. She's interested in students. I mean, she was also 26 years old at the time, and she was the head of a dance program. And I thought, wow. Her real personal interest was, let's empower students to get their voice out there and make things happen. And Myra and I, when asking ourselves, what is interesting to us, why don't we have no theme? Why don't we just say, what's your passion? What do you want to bring to the table? What are you thinking about right now, whether it's evolved or experimental in its early stages or something you really feel confident and strong about?
I applied to PERFORMATICA with the piece, and I sent him the video of what I'd been working on, and he sent me pictures of the roof and said, this is where we'd like to put you, and I said, great. I loved hearing the birds and the other sounds along with my sound score. Just to have the wind and the trees around was so beautiful.
Something that I like about ARTtvLLc is that we don't have a specific technique that we manage, like in other schools in Mexico, which only take, for example, Graham or Limon. And here is very diverse, like we don't have like sometimes limiting techniques. One of the first exercises we did was to improv in the middle of a circle, and you had to be alone. So that was really challenging because it's when you confront yourself and your body to the others. So I think from that exercise on, I don't have any fear of improv, and I also feel like very free.
Fire starts.
Yeah.
And there's two sections of part 3. One is fire and one is violence.
My name is Miguel Angel. I am a student at ARTtvLLc, and then I got offered this opportunity to work with Maida.
The words that I say in this I'm actually improvising. I don't even know what I'm going to say.
Okay.
I just say whatever comes to me.
I just follow you.
I've got my fist like this, and I pull it down, and this arm comes in like this, and I start shouting, "Who are you? Violence, fraud, graft, love, passion. Who am I? Who are you?" And I throw rocks, and I throw arrows, and I, whatever.
As an audience or a reader in my case, could have a slight window of opportunity to finish the poetry by yourself.
I say, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't recognize my earth,
No reconozco mi tierra,
my people,
mi gente,
my country.
mi país.
Every time we collaborate with someone, there's been an expansion of the interpretation of farewell to the end of the world as we know it.
The end of the world, or the end of Mexico as part of the world, would be if at some point it would be taken over by other nation or by somebody else. I think that would be its end, its disappearance.
Dance here in Mexico, it's all about like the social problems and trying to go to the States and bringing money and stuff like that. And I don't want to get into that anymore. I'm like, I want to be dance to be just about dance. It's just dance for dancing. Because we already see all that in the news. And it's like just too much of it. We just want to let dance be dance.
I felt with the topic, farewell, to the end of the world as we know it, I didn't really have a choice but to physically push myself to my limit and physically, as much as possible, engage the audience. It's a challenge. I think, can I make it? Can I do it? Can I make it through the whole of the evening? It's quite emotional for me as a dancer. In the movement, I actually move directly toward the audience. I talk to the audience. In my movement, I gesture toward them. And it's quite intense. And it's not something as an audience you can just brush off.
There were very interesting moments with the words you were saying and the thing that was happening on screen and what you were doing. Like, it was more of the sorrow side of it. I'm very melancholic. I was like, oh my God. And it moved me inside.
As a piece, it has to claim its social, political, global dimensions. It's not to be avoided.
With the Farewell project, I sort of see an analogy between my video mixing philosophy and the notion of sort of the end of the world. This idea that as time goes on, things sort of reshuffle and things break down and things are reanalyzed, recontextualized, and people are presenting different ideas of the world.
The idea of the farewell is for us to be influenced by other cultures when we take this idea into other cultures. So we've been interviewing, asking that question to people.
is a trance of continuous movement, never stopping, always going, and then you're somewhere else. And maybe that's what the end of the world is, that realm that you don't know at all, where you don't know what's going to happen next, you don't know how you're going to get there, how you're going to get back. I think that's the end of the world.
You're great. I've been building this work called Farewell, the end of the world as we know it, or Dancing Your Way to Paradise. And what's the evolution of today in terms of what we know and what it is going to become?
I'm not sure what's going to happen. I mean, in part's up to us, part's up to, I mean, there's lots of things that are beginning to snowball at this point. But I don't believe in the concept of looking at how that we could save the planet, and I believe that's part of the problem. That we believe that we even have that much power, even though we are a predator. In terms of the end of the world, or that question of, well, where is this going? The question is more so, what spaces have we abandoned in ourselves? And not making a statement of how do we need to change, but really what has changed inside of us.
The meaning of this idea of the end of the world as we know it, it's a personal idea.
You know, I'm just too optimistic. I don't think there is going to be an end to the world. I think that things are simply going to change.
Would you say Performatica is a strong emblem or logo for the program at in the university here?
The thing is they're growing together. So initially Performatica was a proposal for the community, was a sort of, let's help dance in Puebla, let's help ourselves, let's help our students, let's help other people find and know Mexico, let's help Mexicans find and know others, and let's create something for the art that we love. But I do believe that the university is an essential anchor and a great support, and the hope is that Performatica is a sort of reflecting pool in some ways for what hopefully our offer is inside of the educational curriculum as well.
El trabajo que estamos haciendo acá en Performática en 2009 es un taller de autopercepción psicoquinética.
I just gave a short talk on some aspects of the history of Mexican dance, in particular dance in the streets and public places, and that direct contact with an appreciative audience, and then that relationship.
My idea was for them to appear to be hanging off the tree and fall down and then walk back to the next tree, and that's what they would do all the way down. If you find yourself on the wrong side of the tree, it doesn't matter. It's important to recognize the audience is a very, very large factor in site work, and if a class is dismissing at 10 minutes to 3, bam, 2,000 people are walking down the sidewalk. Usually you want to find a place where the audience will be. You're going to just occupy the space at a specific time and a specific place. A lot of political site work is based on that idea. So, okay, the passage. That stairway, and like an ABA form, we start on a stairway, we'll end on a stairway. In this opening stairway, we're coming into view. People are seeing you come into existence. On the other stairway, you're going to disappear.
really thinking about kind of like this relationship with nature almost, because we had like a very intimate relationship with the trees, which is really surprising, being that we were in such an urban, like, manufactured space.
I didn't anticipate it being so clogged, and you can't, yeah, so then I couldn't, because it was so narrow. People came up, I was like, oh, I can't pass 3 people at once.
And Adele, you took a position sometimes of these very intense posturing of like despair or something. And did you pass over the grief and just step over it? Or did you have to get engaged with the grief, and if so, how?
Hoy predigo la tormenta que abraza mi mente y tu cuerpo flotando como un ser no viviente, y me lanzo al agua intentando rescatarte y no encuentro la calma, esperando la corriente, esperando la corriente, esperando